Guys, the section of violence here. We got another one for you. UFC Dana Contender Series Week 3. We're going to recap last week's episode, and then we're going to get through this one. New setting today. Just at home with the family right now. But I want to get this done for you. And I said I'd post it early, so I'm a man of my word. It's Saturday morning right now, so I'll have this out before the UFC card. Let's get right into it, though. We got UFC Contender Series Week 2 to recap first, and then we'll get into the card for this coming week. So let's start it off. So we had the first fight was Roman Puga versus Tanner Tremblay. This was a great fight. Both guys deserved to get in the UFC. Tanner looked good. I think he's still a little bit green. I think he still could use more time on the regional scene. But honestly, he fought so well that it really doesn't matter. He showed a lot of heart. He was in a lot of trouble, and he just kept trying to fight back and look for ways to win. Sorry, I'm trying to plug in my computer. And yeah, at the end of the day, I do think it was deserved for the effort he did put in. Is the skill set where it needs to be? Probably not. But I still think this was a good prospect fight. You know, Puga's very good, so is Tremblay. So yeah, it was just a good fight. Puga was a better man. He fought very well. I don't know how Tremblay ate some of those shots. And yeah, same thing with Puga, though. They both just went to war. So congratulations to Puga and both men for getting a contract. Great show from both guys. Yeah. Moving on. Alex Lorenz versus Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is okay. This is kind of almost like it just feels wrong to say, but Muhammad Ali is really bad. He's got good jiu-jitsu, but he just never uses it. He thinks he's a striker. He can't strike. He has no defense. His cardio is not very good. His chin's not very good. So why he strikes, I'll never understand. He got absolutely bullied by Lorenz. I was busy that day. I was coaching. But if I wasn't coaching, or if I was at home watching the lines more, I would have clued in that Lorenz went back from plus 245 to plus 300, and I would have got a play in on him. Unfortunately, I missed that, and yeah, you know, it was too late. But man, Lorenz at plus 325 was definitely value. Anything past 300 was value. Honestly, in hindsight, anything plus 150 was value. How bad Ali looked, but I'm not a hindsight better. But I had Ali winning. I had him as a lean, negative 150, negative 160. But yeah, those odds were insane. So kind of mad I didn't capitalize on that, but it is what it is. Congrats to Lorenz. You know, he's not exactly the best guy on the regional scene, but he does fight hard. But yeah, you know, a nice way to enter the UFC is beating Muhammad Ali. You know, so yeah, good win, and I hope we never have to see Muhammad Ali back on Contender Series again, because that's two times. You're two times. Maybe he gets one more chance, but I doubt it. I think the guy's just not very good. So moving on. Christian Perez versus Logan Paxton. This was the first step up for Logan Paxton, and honestly, he did a lot of nothing in the first round. He landed some decent shots, but you know you could tell he was keeping a pace. He was putting out a pace he couldn't keep, and Perez is used to that. You know, he's had hard fights in his career. He's 15-2 against a pretty good level of competition. So yeah, Christian Perez got it done. Nasty TKO in the second round. Logan Paxton is just not at that level. You know, a lot of Alaskan promotions that just don't, you know, mesh well with the upper level promotions like the UFC. So yeah, Paxton's gonna have to go back to the drawing board and fix up a few things. But yeah, man, Perez is very very skilled, and we'll see where he goes from here. Try to make this quick for you guys. Moving on, we have Trent Miller versus Douglas Rodriguez. Douglas Rodriguez is a big time fraud exposed. I know he was my number one pick last week, but there wasn't a lot of options, honestly. I just think Douglas Rodriguez is a big fraud. He's dangerous round one, but his cardio's not good. His grappling's not good. And he was just relying on a lot of wild stuff. And he did drop Trent Miller early, you know, nearly get the finish, but he gassed out and Trent Miller got on top of him. And then the second round, you could tell Douglas was tired. He was like, you know, shaking out his arms, doing as much as he could to get his win back. But Trent Miller went for the takedown. Douglas went for a guillotine, and Miller caught a Von Flue choke for the finish. So yeah, congratulations, Trent Miller. Welcome to the UFC. Douglas Rodriguez, go fight someone in a real promotion, because you have a lot of work to do, my friend. That was a really, really bad performance. Luckily, I didn't really make a bet this card. I only bet Perez straight. So yeah, man, it was a really weird card for me, so I didn't really take it very seriously. But yeah, man, good. What we're in 2026 and Trent Miller's in the UFC. Pretty crazy. But yeah, moving on. Uh, Kaik Brito versus Namo Fazil. For the amount of trash Nemo talked, it was really satisfying to see Kaik KO him. I thought it was up 2 rounds with Fazil, maybe 1-1, but doesn't matter. Brito put him into a different dimension. Nasty. He went big winging left hook, almost took himself off his feet, and then he just used that momentum to come back with an even more powerful right hook. Knocked Fazil dead. That was a nasty KO, one of the nastiest KOs of the year. Couldn't have been more fitting to a nicer guy. Fazil got absolutely smoked, so that was interesting to watch live. Yeah, great performance by. Well, I wouldn't say great performance, but good win for Brito. I'm excited to see what he does here in the UFC. And Namo back to the drawing board, back to fighting an MVP, calling out Armin Saryukin. Fight of the night, obviously, we'll get into this. Fight of the night, obviously, Roman Puga versus Tremblay. Prospect of the night, probably gonna have to go with probably Roman Puga or Christian Perez. And then we have top five. Pretty much went up to plan. Some hiccups, but it is what it is. Tricky week. But we move on to this week. Dana White Contender Series, week 3. This one's I'd say it's an easier card for prediction wise. I don't know what odds they're gonna give us, but this is before the odds came out. First we have Nick Galante versus Carlos Petruzella. I don't know if you guys remember Petruzella, but this guy does not fight with defense. All bravado. He's fought absolute bums. He fought Joselton Santos and got smoked in the first round. He hasn't really fought many people that are real. And the one time he did, he got smoked. So I think Galante's probably going to do the same. I think he's going to out grapple him. Galante's, faced some pretty decent guys, whereas Petruzzo has struggled with his strength in competition. He's only lost a select few guys as Galante. He's beat Austin Clayton, Derek Benoit, Ty Gorder, Subnosky. He has some pretty good wins. So I think he's probably going to submit Petruzzo. And I have him submitting him in round 2, maybe 3, late round 1. But I think he's gonna wear on him early and then find the submission. I think Petruzla has a hole in his game, which is grappling, and I think he also struggles with defense as well. So I don't know if Nick's gonna capitalize on the defensive issues as he's primarily a grappler, but it would be pretty interesting to see that growth in his career. So got to go with Nick Galante here. Pretty confident, I would say. Moving on, we have was it Humphrey? Ronald Humphrey versus Alexis Miranda. Now, I watched Alexis Miranda's tape, and honestly, he just didn't look very good. He looked pretty stiff. His kicks were telegraphed, his punches were telegraphed. Everything just looked slow. And honestly, I just don't really have any good opinions of him. He trades at Entram, a decent gym. He doesn't have any real good wins. He lost to someone who I train with at Extreme, Anwar Alberto, who's a huge guy. Pause. But yeah, he hasn't really had any great wins yet. Um, Ronald Humphrey will probably be one of his toughest opponents, except for his last loss. Humphrey's a freak athlete, KO power. I think he probably starches Miranda. Honestly, I think it's a pretty straightforward fight. I think Miranda's too hittable, too sloppy, too slow, and Humphrey's very explosive, and he's going to come in and try to get him out of there early. So I'm going to go with Ronald Humphrey here. I think it's a pretty safe pick. But yeah, you never know with contender series, right? You think the guy has it in the shade, made in the shade, and then all of a sudden he's out cold on the canvas. So you really don't know with these guys until fight day. So, but I got Ronald Humphrey here. It's pretty self-explanatory what should happen, but you never know. Moving on. Gary Bellato versus Sean Clancy. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Sean Clancy is. Sean Clancy is extremely talented. He fights for Cage Warriors. The guy is extremely dangerous. He has good jiu-jitsu, dangerous striking. He's looked good in his Cage Warriors tenure, and now he's moving on to bigger and better things in the UFC. This will be his debut in Contender Series, so definitely watch out for him. I do think he wins this fight. I just think the guy is very well rounded, talented, and yeah, I think the UFC wants him to win too. You know, he's got the Scottish fan base. Um, yeah, I got to go Sean Clancy Jr. here. Gary Bilado's not bad, but it's just he's been mainly focused on BKFC, so it's hard to take someone seriously when their main focus is BKFC. Um, yeah, I got to go with Sean Clancy here. I just think he's got more weapons, and you know, I don't think it's going to be a straight boxing fight that Gary's been used to the last while. So going with Sean Clancy here, it's pretty straightforward. Moving on, Gary Gerhume Mario Piazon. I think Uriel is going to likely. I don't know. This is a close fight. Honestly, it's pretty 50-50. I kind of lean. I don't know. Honestly, I can't give you a strong answer yet. Let me see who I have written down. Maybe that can give you guys an insight of what I'm thinking. Um, yeah, I have it as a coin flip, and I lean Uriel just because Piazon has looked really bad, and the only credible win he has, he won by DQ. So hard to take him seriously, but I do think Uriel probably wins that fight. I think Uriel is just going to be a little more experienced at the higher level, um, more calm, and I think he's going to be down to scrap. Whereas Piazon is, you know, he'll scrap a little bit, but he kind of like backs up and doesn't really do a lot. He's been knocked out a few times. Yeah, man, gotta go with you know, some people that actually have shown me something in Uriel. So I'm gonna go Uriel here. Not a confident pick at all, 50-50, but we'll see how it plays out. Moving on. Bellamir versus Alex Apodka. I think Alex is just kind of not like overrated or anything, but she's not that great. You know, it's kind of like a pretty bad matchup for her. Bella's going to be someone they're going to treat her as a sacrificial lamb for Bella, as Bella's the one the UFC wants. You know, Alex has pretty decent striking. She's more of like a volume striker from the outside that looks to win decisions, whereas Bella's trying to finish you. She's got knockout power. She's got submissions. She's gonna come for you for the full 15 minutes. So I gotta go with Bellamir, obviously, but wouldn't be surprised to see some weird, funky stuff from Alex. Um, yeah, I don't know though. I think Bellamir is probably gonna win the boxing exchanges and wrestle her when she needs, and then lock her up in a submission. So gonna go with Bellamir here, and yeah. Alrighty, guys, that is it. I have my picks. I have Galante, Humphrey, John Clancy, Uriel, and we have Bellamir. Alrighty, guys. Now here are my top five most confident picks. I would go Clancy number one, Humphrey number two, Mir number three, Galante number four, and Uriel number five. I think that's a solid list. Alrighty, guys. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you guys next time. Damn, only 13 minutes. Thought it went on longer. Anyways, guys, like I said, you know the drill. I'll catch you guys next time. Until next time, peace.